Hello my beautiful makeup lovers, thank you so much for tuning in with me today and a very warm welcome to my channel. Today we're gonna do a test out or a try on or whatever you want to call it from Clionadh Cosmetics. I picked up quite some items from them lately. I picked up their Archeo and their Paleo Palette. I picked up also their Birthstone Saga and their Ultra Metals collection, as well as a Lush Trio and also a few singles from them, only mattes actually, these 5. And yeah, so I want you to kind of look mainly using the Archeo and Paleo palette on my eyes. And yeah, so before I want to give you a little bit of an info on the brand itself and also the products that I bought, and then we're gonna jump into the look, and after that I'm gonna give you a preliminary review, if you want to call it like this, because I haven't tested out everything like a long time yet and it's a lot, but I thought I would like to share with you my impression of the brand and everything, since it's a brand I think that has been gotten, especially because of these two, very famous lately, at least in the indie brand world. And yeah, so I thought it might be interesting for you, and I thought it's going to be fun as well. And if you want to see that, let's jump into that. Okay, so in case you don't know, Clionadh Cosmetics is a Canadian indie makeup brand, and as far as I know, they only sell powder products, in the sense of they sell eyeshadows, they sell highlighters, and they sell also blushes. So that's the kind of stuff they have at the moment. I don't know, maybe I'm unaware of something, but I guess that's what they have. And I think the most famous they are for those two palettes. This is the Archeo palette and the Palio palette, and they are both handmade. I mean, I don't know if you can see or tell that it's actually like painted down by hand, or at least that's how it seems. They're super pretty palettes. The Palio palette looks inside like that. Comes with a sheet with names on it, looks like that. And then you have the Archeo palette that looks like that. So you see here in the Palio palette you only have 2 mattes and the rest is shimmers, while here you have half mattes and half shimmers. So this is the new one of the both, and yeah, so these are the ones that I'm gonna use in my look. But I also picked up, as I showed you, as I showed you, I also picked up the Birthstone Saga, which looks like this. This is only a shimmer palette. Like all of those are shimmers, more or less. Like, I don't know, the camera doesn't seem to pick it up really well, but I hope you can tell what I mean, that there are only shimmers in there. And it's like, I guess like every month has like a birthstone apparently, and they made like a palette that every shade represents that birthstone. I don't know about this, I'm not into this kind of things, but that's what this idea of the palette is, so why not? And then you have here the Ultra Metals. I'm sorry, I have to always go down, but my table I have here is a bit low, so I'm sorry about that. Then you have here the Ultra Metals selection. This is the first one, and then you have the second one. So I think all of those, they look really pretty. I'm really impressed as well how they arrived here. They arrived super pretty, packed, like really carefully, like little presents. It was really nice to receive them. I'm gonna leave some pictures here, and so you can see how it looks, how they arrived here. It was really, to me, like the most beautiful packaging I ever got, so that was really cool. The shipping, Clionadh is a little bit, I guess, infamous for shipping a little bit slow, and it did take some time. So the first order I did, I picked up on like the beginning of September, sorry, when they had their birthday sale, and it arrived here on the end of October, so 2 months, which is still not super bad, considering that it's an indie brand. And as I heard, like in the past, they had like even longer shipping times, so it seems like they approved. And also these two I ordered in the middle of September when they became available again, and this arrived also 2 months later. So it's okay, you know, I don't mind waiting 2 months because I know it's an international order, it's an indie brand, so everything takes a little bit. And when you check out, they actually tell you that the shipping, like until they ship your order, will be 10 to 20 business days. So that's okay. I was informed about it and everything, so that's good. And yeah, so that's pretty much what I wanted to say about the brand, and let's just jump into the look now, and after that I'm gonna catch you for my preliminary review. Okay, so for the today's look I want to use mainly the mattes from the Palio palette, which are only two. But I have only used the mattes so far from the Archeo palette, so I'm really curious about the mattes in here, if they are the same and everything, so we will see about that. So I'm gonna start off my look using this color, which is called Pangea. And I'm just gonna go in straight with a blending brush and gonna put it like in my crease, already blended in. Okay, so after this is laid down, I'm gonna go in with a second matte of the palette, and this is, as I said, the color Fossil, or did I say it? I don't know. It's the color Fossil, and I'm gonna go in with that one to deepen up the crease. Okay guys, so now we're gonna go into this color here I'm switching the palettes. I'm going to the Archeo palette now, and I'm gonna go into the color Glyph, which is this purpley duochrome, purpley bluish duochrome, and I am going to put it like on my lid. I don't know yet how much far I want to drag it in, but we will see, and I am going to use a glitter glue. Okay, so after this shade is laid down, we're gonna go in with this color here in the Palio palette, the color Trench, and I'm gonna put it on the outer part of my lid. There I'm not gonna put particularly glitter glue, but I'm going to wet my brush. On the lower lash line, I'm going to repeat the mattes that we used already. So with this color Pangea and the color Fossil, I'm going to put Pangea like all on the lower lash line, and Pangea I put more closer to the lashes and a bit more towards the outer part. Now I'm gonna go in back with this color Fossil from the Palio palette again, just to clean out a little bit here the outer corner and make it look a bit, yeah, more clean. Okay, so this is all the eyeshadow that I want to put with the Palio and the Archeo palette, and now I'm gonna finish off the look with some mascara and all this fuss, and then I'm gonna be back with you. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. Let me zoom you in a little bit. So yeah, I finished off this look with as always, the Essence Lash Princess False Effect Mascara. I put in my waterline the Graphic Eyes eyeliner from Zoeva in the color Cool Factor, and I used on my lips the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb thingy, you know, Fenty Glow Gloss Bomb, exactly. And also I forgot in the look that I also needed an inner corner highlight, and I went with this color Epoch here in the Palio palette to do the inner corner highlight and also the brow bone highlight. Well, that's about it, and with the look, let's jump now into the review preliminary, it's a really difficult word to say, preliminary review of Clionadh Cosmetics, my impressions with it after a couple of weeks. So you saw now you will be using in the look the Archeo and the Paleo palette, so let's also start with those. So besides anything else, the packaging is amazing. I mean, the packaging is really like packaging gold. Absolutely beautiful. So the colors in here. So the mattes, as well as in the Archeo, as also in the Palio palette, are they're good, but they are not my favorite. Let's say, like, let's put it like this. They are not my favorite. So they are a bit on the chalkier side, which is not super bad or anything. I don't mind. It makes them easy blendable, yes, but not all the mattes have the kind of pigment that I would like them to have. Like this color here, that you can see here, how it's called. It's called Glacial. No, it's not called Glacial. This color is called Monolith. The color Monolith, for example, doesn't show up as intense as it does here, and well, like I have this feeling with all the mattes, they just don't show up that intense. They're easy blendable, they're easy to work with, and you can build them up a little bit, but I feel that you cannot build them up to the point that they look exactly like in the pan. I feel that's the case. For me at least, that didn't really work out with the mattes, but they're not bad after all. Like, they are not bad mattes per se, they're just not my preferred form of mattes. But if you like colorful mattes and don't want them to be like super impactful, that might be for you. It's not a bad matte per se. They blend out easily, they apply nice and everything, but you don't get this like super pigmented in your face mattes that is kind of trending these days. And yeah, so I just wanted to mention it. But I think, for example, for like an everyday look, when you want to go a little bit more neutral, but you want to do a bit like a neutral with a twist, let's say, then these could be really nice mattes to use with. I didn't do that yet, but I think that's how I'm going to use them in the end, maybe except of this really blue, because blue is never really subtle, let's be honest. And yeah, so, but I think what's the really outstanding thing for this palettes are the shimmers. The shimmer shades are really beautiful. I hope you can see how nicely this color down here performed like on the first part of my lid, how duochromy it comes out. And also this color down here, super beautiful. It's like a peachy golden base with a green reflect. Absolutely beautiful. But I have to say that most of those colors look the best if you use a glitter glue. Like, if you use a glitter glue, they will look the most stunning on your lids, and they will also last long. If you only use them wet or just on their own, they're not going to be that impactful. I mean, if you use them wet, they will have impact, but less than with a glitter glue, which is probably the case with most shimmers. And I feel like if you use them like without anything, just dry, I feel the impact is not that big, but then they are really nice as topper shades actually. So I did like to use I think was this color here that's called Crystalline here, that I used as a topper shade on top of like just a blue base, and that looked absolutely beautiful when I used it dry. But if you want to have them on the lid and stay in there also long, I recommend you using a glitter glue, because if I don't use a glitter glue as well, they also fade faster. So I don't know, like all over, I'm really in love with the packaging, I'm really in love with the color stories, and I love the duochromes especially. But the long lastivity and the impact of the mattes, no, the long lastivity of the shimmers, and the impact of the mattes is just not as good as I want them to be. But I still think, like, these palettes are so beautiful, and I love the colors. With the glitter glue, the shimmers are so beautiful that I would definitely still reach for those palettes. But you should be aware of that if you buy those palettes. So I think these are also really good palettes if you're actually not super into color, or you're afraid to get too impactful, colorful looks. I think those could work out really nice, because you can do neutral looks with it. But since the mattes are also not super impactful, you can also do a bit colorful looks, which are a bit more tuned down. So I think those palettes are actually not bad for people who are more into subtle, tuned down, but still elegant and special, colorful looks. So I really like those. I think if you know how to handle them, you will have a good time with them. But yeah, they're just not perfect, but they have their place in my heart, and I don't regret buying them at all. So let's move on to another couple of things that I bought. I bought also this Lush Trio here, which is, one second, so, which looks like this. So this Lush Trio is, I like this, you know, I think this color here, I'm wearing it on my cheeks today. This color Pollen, it's called, is really, really pretty. I really like this one. These other two are a bit too impactful for me, but I actually bought this blush trio. I just wanted this color Pollen, and then I bought the trio because I thought that would be really cool eyeshadows. It doesn't say that they are eye safe on the packaging. It actually says that they are not approved for lips or eyes, but I did use this one as an eyeshadow already, and it was fine. But if you have sensitive eyes, maybe that's not for you. And this one was actually way more pigmented than the mattes in the Palio and Archeo palette, so that's okay. Like, I think that's really cool, you know. I did use them. That's one that I used also as a blush once. It's a very, very pinky blush, but I like it. I mean, you have to be really into pigmented blushes if you pick those up. They are matte, they don't have any sheen to them. I like those. I don't think it's nothing I have never seen or something like this, but I just picked it up because I was placing an order and I wanted to try something else rather than only the eyeshadows, and I think they do a good deal with the blushes as well. I think they're good, and they're a good deal. Okay, let's move on. I always have to go a bit down here because my table is a bit down, so let me grab the next thing, which is the Ultra Mattles collection from them. So the Ultra Mattles is kind of, the different shades in there are a little bit of a hit and miss for me. In this one, these three here, the cool toned one, they're really, really nice. Like, they are really nice shimmers. Maybe let me swatch quickly one. It's a really, really nice shimmer. Like, if you can tell, it's really pretty. It has like a lot of, it's very, very metallic. That's why it's called Ultra Metallics, right? And you have like a really nice thing going with those, I think, in the Ultra Mattles. But these two on top of here, they just are not that foiled and metallic as the other three. I don't know. I feel like these three I really like, and these two okay, they're not bad per se, but they're just not the same as these three foiled. So when I swatched this, when I got this, I was like, whoa, 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 and I was like, oh, okay. So I don't know if I'm not entirely sure if you can pick them up as singles, but if you can, I would actually recommend going for these three and leaving out this brown and the red here, because I don't think they're, I don't know, like I feel like they fall a bit behind the other three. And I had kind of the same experience with the other palette of the collection, which is this one. 1 second. And it looks like this. So these two colors down here are absolutely silver, and the blue, and also this purple up here. They're beautiful, but the two warmer toned ones again are okay-ish. I don't know, they're just not as foiled and great as the cool tone ones. I don't know if it's like, I'm not a chemist, so I don't know if it's a big difference to make a warm toned and a cool toned shimmer or metallic, but I guess it is. I was judging from this. And also the warm tone ones, they fade faster than the cool tone ones, even with the glitter glue. So I don't know, like if I would say, if you're interested in the Ultra Mattles collection, I would recommend you picking up the singles, the cool tone singles, if this is something for you. I think the warm tone ones, I think they do have better, like the warm tone shimmers in the, where did I put it? Here. The warm tone shimmers in the Palio and the Archeo palette are definitely much better than the Ultra Mattles. So I would say then maybe here only the cool tone ones. Okay, so I have one more thing from them, which is the Birthstone Saga palette. This one has mainly shimmers, of course, and I feel they are pretty consistent on how they perform. I really like the kind of duochrome ones. They're not truly duochrome, but they do have a little shift to them, like this one here, which is Peridot, I think. And then also this one here, the color Opal, is also really, really nice. Gets like a duochrome shift to it. Not really duochrome, but it has a shift. I don't know, it's just not as impactful as, for example, with the one I'm wearing on the lid, but it does have nice, interesting shifts. Also, I really, really like this green here, which is the color Emerald, I believe, and this purple down here, which is the color Tanzanite. Yeah, so all over, these are really, really nice shimmers. They do also, like in the Archeo and the Paleo palette, need a glitter glue, I feel, to shine their best. I haven't tried all of them. It's an all shimmer palette, so it's difficult to use all the shades, but I used so far the ones that I mentioned already, and I also used this blue up here, the color Aquamarine, and all of them, they look the best with the glitter glue. I tried always applying them first just wet, and I was not super satisfied, so I put a glitter glue on top of it, and then it was really, really nice. So I think definitely if you want to buy Clionadh Cosmetics, you have to be okay with using a glitter glue under your shimmers. You have to be okay with that your mattes are not super impactful. They're pretty, but they're not super impactful, as you can maybe see with the look that I did today. And I don't know, like I don't mind. I definitely have a use for this in my collection, mattes like this, because I also do like to wear tuned down makeup, tuned down colors not once in a while. I do like to wear it. And also with the glitter glue, I don't mind at all. Like, since I didn't learn about putting a glitter glue under a shimmer I learned about this not that long ago, which is embarrassing enough, but since I learned about that, I put basically a glitter glue under almost every shimmer that I have, and it just puts every shimmer to a next level, and I really like to do so. I don't mind to do it with the different palettes that I picked up, but you have to be comfortable with it. But if you do it, I think you get some really unique colors. Like in here, you definitely have some really unique colors, as well as in the Archeo and in the Paleo palette. So for me, that's fine. For me, it was a good pick. But if you're considering if you pick up Clionadh or not, ask yourself if you're fine with these two things. And if you say like, yeah, I put a glitter glue anyway all the time, and I don't want like super crazy pigmented mattes either, then that could be a good pick for you. Clionadh in general, they make very nice colors, especially the duochromes. That's why I also picked up just like 1 week ago or something, their duochrome bundle of the Witchcraft and Alchemy collection, I believe they call it. And I'm really excited for this to arrive, because the duochromes in the palettes, they are the prettiest. Like, they're really special. And yeah, so I'm excited to have tried Clionadh finally. I was like wanting to do this for so long, and now finally did. And all over, I think with my preliminary thoughts that this is a good thing. I think I'm gonna have definitely a place for this in my collection, and I am excited to, you know, play around with this. And yeah, so let me know in the comments if you have tried Clionadh. What is your experience? There's a hair flying around. It's from the dog. Everywhere I have dog hair, it's terrible. Anyway, let me know about Clionadh. What is your experience, or have you tried them in general? I would really like to know what you think about the other products that I might have not mentioned here, or if you have one of those products and have a totally different opinion, or just the same, let me know. I'm here to talk about makeup, so I would love to hear about that. And please give this video a thumbs up if you like this kind of videos. I would love if you consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, so I can see you here in my next video. Bye bye!